Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is obviously the next part. It takes one to know one. So yeah, we're on the fourth part now because I don't like to leave them too long because I think people can get bored. Anyway, shall we begin? Samantha Jane. Nobody speaks to Samantha Jane, the silent child with a fancy name, who comes to school with her hair a mess, milk stains down her dirty dress, who wears a coat that's far too small and stands alone by the playground wall. Nobody plays with Samantha Jane, who lives with her mum down Leadmill Lane, in a run-down flat that's dark and smelly, who spends her nights glued to the telly, and sleeps in a bed that's damp and cold, in a dark little room that's full of mould. Nobody cares about Samantha Jane, who walks to school in wind and rain, with her unwashed face, her hair a mess, her coat too small and her dirty dress, with her tight little mouth and a frightened stare. No one is there to care. Samantha Jane, oh what do you dream of, Samantha Jane, as you walk to school all alone, or stand in the playground on your own? Do you dream of friends with whom to play, to help you through the lonely day? Do you dream of arms to hold you tight, to help you through that lonely night? See, I know what that's all about, and there's a deeper meaning to that, guys, that we'll not get into, but I get it. Leaving home. When Matthew was 7, he decided to leave home. He packed his little bag and tucked his teddy underneath his arm and said, "I'm going. I've had enough." "Why are you leaving, Matty?" asked Dad. "Because you shouted at me." "No, I didn't. I never raised my voice." "You shouted at me with your eyes," said Matthew. "Shall I run you to the station?" asked Dad. "No, I'll get the bus." "Well, goodbye then, Matty," said Dad, opening the door onto the cold black night beyond. Matthew peered into the darkness. "Be careful of the wolves," said Dad. "I'm not going now," replied Matthew. "I've changed my mind." I thought it was quite funny. The school inspector calls. Miss, there's a man at the back of the classroom with a big black book and a smile like a crocodile. Miss, he asked me if I got a lot of homework, and when I said too much, he wrote it down. Miss, there's a man at the back of the classroom with a long sharp pencil and eyes like a basking shark. Miss, he asked me what I liked best about our school, and when I said the dinners, he wrote it down. Miss, there's a man at the back of the classroom with a big square badge and hair like a hedgehog. Miss, I asked him what he liked best about our school, and he said he was not there to answer my questions, and he said he was just a fly on the wall. Miss, why don't you tell him? Buzz off. Yeah, there's a lot about school inspectors, isn't there, in these kind of books, which, yeah, I guess I know why. Okay, this is an interesting name. Earwax. It's wax, explained the doctor, shining a little torch into Dominic's ears. Your son's got wax in his ear. Earwax, Dad said, relieved. His brothers both had wax in their ears when they were his age. It must run in the family. It's nature's way of protecting the ear from water. That's what we were told by the nurse. That's very true, said the doctor, peering into the ear. Yes, my older sons had wax in their ears too, said Dad, and had to have them shringed. I supposed it will be the same for Dominic. No, replied the doctor, inserting a pair of silver tweezers and extracting something red and round and shaped like a bullet. Not for a wax crayon. Okay, I get it now. Auntie Penny's pets. Auntie Penny has a parrot. She calls him Captain Jack. He has red and yellow feathers and a beak of shiny black. He has eyes like tiny pebbles and claws of scaly grey. And he squawks and talks and talks and squawks all the livelong day. Auntie Penny has a Scotty dog. She calls him Mr. Mac. He has little legs and a stumpy tail and a very hairy back. He has teeth as sharp as icicles and eyes like diamonds bright. And he snaps and yaps and snaps morning, noon and night. Auntie Penny has a Siamese cat. She calls her the old maid. She has silver fur as soft as silk and eyes of polished jade. She has pointed claws as sharp as knives and whiskers thin as wire. And she purrs and never stirs, curled up by the fire. Auntie Penny has a donkey. She calls him Irish Brian. He's small and thin and bony, with hoofs as hard as iron. He has teeth as square as tombstones, and a mane as red as rust. And he neighs and brays and neighs from daylight until dusk. Auntie Penny has a portly pig. She calls her Mrs. Stout. She's round and fat and bristly, with a wet and wiggly snout. She has a curly tail like a coiled up spring, and a coat of purest white. And she grunts and digs with the other pigs from daybreak until night. Auntie Penny has an husband. His name is Uncle Paul. He's very, very quiet. In fact, he hardly speaks at all. He cooks and cleans and washes and tidies all the house. He tiptoes round without a sound, as quiet as a mouse. Auntie Penny, she likes all her pets. The old maid, Captain Jack, Mrs. Stout, Irish Brian, and grumpy Mr. Mac. But she has a special favourite. He is the quietest of them all, and she loves him best, more than all the rest, and his name is Uncle Paul. As you will have noticed earlier in that poem, it did say that the donkey neighs and neighs. Just to be clear, it didn't say neighs both times. Bee in the classroom. On Friday, in through the window of the open classroom, flew the biggest bee in the world, the whole wide world. A big, round, black and yellow, bumbling monster. It buzzed and hummed and bobbed about everybody's head. Miss, miss, screamed Bernadette, there's a bee in the classroom. Just ignore it, said the teacher. Get on with your writing. If you don't bother the bee, Bernadette, the bee won't bother you. Miss, miss, yelled Barry. Shall I swat it with my ruler? Certainly not, said the teacher. It has as much right to life as any living creature. If you don't bother the bee, Barry, it won't bother you. Miss, suggested Betty. Shall I catch it in my pencil case? Not a very good idea, said the teacher. That would make it very angry. If you don't bother the bee, Betty, the bee won't bother you. On Friday, in through the open window of the classroom, flew the biggest bee in the world, the whole wide world. A big round black and yellow bumbling monster. It buzzed and buzzed around the teacher's desk. It hummed and hummed about her ear. It bobbed and bobbed before her eyes, and then it stung her on the nose. Teachers, you know, can be wrong sometimes. Oh, Remembrance Day. On Remembrance Day. So, on Remembrance Sunday, Grandpa cried for his two brothers who had died in some forgotten far-off land of blistering heat and burning sand. He touched a medal to his chest, which sparkled brighter than the rest. The Africa star he gently sighed, a badge of honour and worn with pride, a symbol of our Ted and Jack, who never made the journey back. He watched old soldiers stride on by, straight-held back and heads held high, and clutched our poppies of brightest red, and cried for the brothers, Jack and Ted. The last word. My big brother likes to have the last word. Yesterday, Dad said to him, I wish you wouldn't always argue with me. I don't, said Dominic. You do, said Dad. I don't. There you go again. What? Arguing with me? I'm not arguing. You are. I'm not. You see what I mean? No, of course you do. I don't know what you mean. Arguing with me. I'm not arguing, said Dominic. You are, said Dad. I'm not. Well, what are you doing now, then? Having a difference of opinion, replied Dominic. That's arguing, said Dad. No, it isn't, Dominic said, getting the last word. Please leave on the light. Oh, leave the landing light on, Mum. Oh, please leave on the light. Oh, leave the landing light on, Mum. I can't make it through the night. I'm frightened in my room alone when the moon is shining bright. Shadows dance across the walls. Oh, please leave on the light. I have these awful scary thoughts of creatures in the night, with long curved claws and massive jaws. Oh, please leave on the light. I hear them underneath the bed, scuttling out of sight, waiting for the darkness. Oh, please leave on the light. Then they slither out silently, and give me such a fright with their cold, cold breath and icy hands. Oh, please leave on the light. They clamber on the eiderdown with golden eyes so bright, and clasp me in their monstrous arms, so please leave on the light. I fear their breath upon my cheek, I dread their teeth that bite, I cannot bear the thought of them, oh please leave on the light. Oh mummy, mummy, do not leave, oh mummy, hold me tight, I know that I'll have nightmares if you don't leave on the light. Come, come, my dear, his mother said, I think it's only right. You're 47 years old, you know, so I'm turning off the light. Oh dear, 47. Wow. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this part here, and I do think the next part may be slightly longer, but it'll be like the end of the whole book. I hope. That's my aim. Anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and many. Hi, guys.